All right, we are rocking and rolling with episode 146 of Left Side Heavy the podcast, presented by Blue Wire. I'm Jevon LaFave, and we got Hayden Barton, of course, and Hayden, man, we already at 146. This shit's getting crazier and crazier by the minute. It fucking snowed today. What's happening?
Whew, what isn't happening? That's the real question. Man, I heard so many people on the radio were complaining like I didn't know it was gonna snow, yada yada yada. It's like, do you look at the weather ever?
I,
And it's a half, not even a half inch, and it was gone by the afternoon. Like, come on, people, let's figure this shit out. It's not that hard to drive, man.
yeah, no, like this amount of snow shouldn't affect anything. But
Mm-mm.
I'll tell you what, when I woke up, I was not expecting to look outside my window and see snow on the ground. So I was thrown off a little bit, but I mean, like it's gotten so cold the past couple days. I wasn't really surprised, but I was surprised
That's fair.
because like apparently like that wind chill was coming, like the Arctic chills were coming from like Siberia or some shit,
Mm-hmm.
and like because like the heavy winds were bringing it over here,
Yep.
and I was like, damn, all right,
Yep.
and
And
then
it's also supposed to snow overnight tonight and a little bit into tomorrow, but then it just heats up on Thursday back to 8 degrees.
all right, yeah, yeah, I heard it was only supposed to last like a few days, but like waking up, I was like, oh, all right. I guess it snowed.
Mm-hmm.
Sick, but whatever. But have you been? How's your start to your week? How was cabinets today?
Cabinets were good. As you can see behind me, you notice what's gone?
All your sweaters and shit.
A bunch of clothes. Yeah, that's because they've been moved over to there. But no, it's because a lot of oh shit, my dick. A lot of stuff over here that Shade and I had piled up and up top is now underneath the bed frame that I had made. And it's like now I have envisioning, just dream with me here.
Dreaming.
On that wall right there, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All the way across. Take down this bracket for like hanging stuff here.
Head to the YouTube if you want to know what he's talking about.
Yeah. So we're taking down all this, putting it underneath the bed.
Mm-hmm.
So then this whole wall is gonna get like revamped with like a 3/4 board of whatever. And I'm
Word.
basically gonna make like a custom closet for myself here. And then on top, I'm gonna make like a little cover for the dresser,
Yeah.
and then having like a 4 or 5 inch drawer for like jewelry or watches or just like little knickknack stuff for Shaden and I. I'm gonna have my side on the left and her side on the right.
Wow, that's sweet. That's a pretty big drawer for knicknacks. Four
I
or five.
mean, oh, more than I'll ever need, but she
Yeah.
suggested it, and I was like, "It's like, babe, come on, that's a lot of space there." Like, fuck, you want to fit, I don't know, the Titanic in there, maybe?
Too much room.
Yeah, some would say.
Three is perfect amount. Some say it's average amount.
Maybe, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, that's funny. But let's we got a heavy episode today. So I figure we may as well just dive head first and just kick this episode off. Um
Agreed.
Big news came out yesterday. We were recorded on Tuesday here.
The
Big,
biggest news.
massive news out of nowhere, honestly. Like it wasn't out of nowhere, but it also was out of nowhere. Bo Horvat has been traded to the New York Islanders for forward Anthony Beauvillier, center prospect Aturati, and the Islanders 2023 first round pick on conditions. The condition is it's top 12 protected. If so, that means if the Islanders get anywhere from the 12th overall pick to the first, anywhere in that range, they keep it this year, and then we get their 2024 first round pick completely unprotected. But anywhere from 13 on, it's ours this year. And we will be retaining 25% of Bo's contract for the remainder of this year. Massive bomb from Friedman that I got. Obviously around the city, it was one of the worst kept secrets of all time. Is Horvat, he rejected two of Vancouver's best offers. We talked about it. It was probably because they were below market value and he wanted to get paid, which I totally respect that. So it was kind of unanimous that everyone knew that he was going to get traded. And people were like Boston, maybe New Jersey, maybe Colorado. And then next thing you know, the Islanders come in and win the Horvat sweepstakes. Horvat has 54 points with career high already with 31 goals in 49 games. Funny enough, all comes around full circle. Lou Lamoriello traded the 9th overall pick in 2013 to Vancouver for Corey Schneider. Canucks used that 9th overall pick to draft Bo Horvat. And then 10 years later, Bo Horvat returns to Lou Lamoriello. He realized, he was like, wow, I screwed up. Give me him back. I want him. Here's more. Yeah, Horvat, he had in his stint with the Vancouver Canucks in 621 regular season games, he had 420 points with 16.
Nice. Sorry.
With
You always gotta give props for 420.
100%. He did that on purpose.
Yeah.
With 16 points in 23 playoff games, and I think majority of those points came in like the last few playoff runs. But yeah, I'll just give a quick stats for this, and I'll go to you, Hayd. Anthony Beauvillier, drafted in 2015. It feels like he was drafted like 5 years after Horvat, but it was only like 2. Crazy to me. It feels like Horvat's been in this league forever, or Beauvillier has been in here for like a half a second. But 28th overall by the Islanders. He has 209 points in 457 games, 29 points in 49 playoff games. Atu Ratti was drafted in 2021, 52nd overall. He's a 20-year-old centerman. 2 goals in 12 NHL games, scored in his first game actually too. And as a rookie in the AHL, he has 15 points in 27 games. So Haydn, what was your initial reaction to seeing Horvat go to the Islanders?
Big sad face. That's the initial reaction. It's like, damn, it's a sad face. But let's see what we get in return. I was like, come on. Defenseman, some defenseman prospect, defenseman. No. Could we draft a defenseman with the hopeful 13th overall pick or later? Probably. I'm just gonna say this too, looking into the trade aspects. A protected for 12th overall. Dude, what the fuck is that, man? Like that's bullshit. I don't like that. I feel like the Canucks could have just been like, no, you're getting him for this. But I also get how he's not really signed. So
Yeah,
if they give him an extension, that's that's a good idea, I'd say, because the Islanders might need a great center like Bo. And then I don't feel like they trade him at the deadline. Like I saw in the notes where it's like flip Bo. I maybe,
I've
but
heard
I don't.
that. I've heard like just through a bunch of like fans and stuff like that. Like, what if Islanders did this to get a month worth of Horvat and maybe try and flip him if he keeps up his pace? And I was like, I swear to fucking God, if they do that and get a better return than what we got for him, I might shoot myself in the fucking face.
I feel like that's just fanatics going at it and making theories, which hypothetically could happen.
Yeah.
I don't see it happening though, because I feel like you don't really trade for a player if you don't want them,
Especially giving up
especially
like a top prospect in your
especially a high marquee player like Bo Horvat is.
yeah.
So I have to imagine that they will try and negotiate a contract for him, especially considering, as you just said, it was someone who traded that draft pick who we eventually draft. So maybe it's like a small little homecoming or what should have been moment for New York, in which case, um, all I can say is like, damn. And I don't think he's actually gonna keep up a production playing with the Islanders. Call me crazy, but it's just not the Islanders style like we talked about,
hmm
last week. It's not how
Yeah.
they play,
Yeah.
so could be tough.
Yeah. I was when I initially saw it, I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. What did we do? What did we get? Oh my God. And then I was surprised. I wasn't upset that we traded him. I think it was because I was all oiled up and like I've kind of accepted the
Realized.
fact that we are going to trade him no matter what. I think what my expectations were so unbelievably low to see what the return because I'm so used to just getting absolutely fleeced in trades,
Mm-hmm.
and we usually get bullied over by other GMs on just getting the shit end of the stick. That when I saw this return, I saw how praised Aturatu was amongst the Islanders fan base. I looked into it, and he was the consensus number 2 overall pick behind Jack Hughes the year that they um got drafted. But then I think with an unfortunate rookie year in Liga over in Europe, and he dropped by a lot. And to have the initial skill to be consensus number 2, I think it goes a long way. And I still think that he's highly talked about. He doesn't dazzle you with speed or anything like that, but I think his IQ, his shot, and just skill, I think, is what makes him such a good player. And
Mm-hmm.
it's a center prospect up the middle, and I looked at that and I'm like, this, yes, it's not a defenseman, but it's something, and we don't have anything. Then all we have is really like aging centers, except Pedersen, but like Miller would play center. That's the only other guy who can play, and he's 29.
Yeah.
And so like we need something up the middle that's young, and this helps. Beauvillier, yes, it's another winger that is making over $3 million. Excuse me, but he has a year and a half left on his deal. Um, if we trade Besser and Garland, like a lot of people are speculating, then he can take their spot in the top 6.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and if anything, we can re-sign him for probably cheaper, or maybe flip him at the deadline for just a few picks or something.
Yeah.
Um, but other than that, like he's a serviceable forward who can chip in for 40 to 50 points. And who knows, maybe he finds a groove in Vancouver and maybe he actually can help us and be a part of our future. Who knows? And yes, the first round pick is protected. I get it. It is what it is. But it's a first round pick. Like, just be happy about that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I understand that it's protected, top 12 protected in the Bedard draft. But realistically, the Islanders, unless they're the bottom 5 team, or no one's getting fucking Bedard in that draft. Okay? Accept it. The Islanders
Yeah.
aren't gonna fall down that hard. I just don't think it's realistic. Like, I don't think they're that structurally bad and that talented to be that bad. You know? It's like, yes, they're 2 points out of a playoff spot right now. And their chances of making the playoffs are pretty fucking low. And if I had to guess, we're probably gonna get like the fucking like I don't know, like 15th overall pick or some shit. It's probably going to happen that way. But this draft is deep. If we can, I'm hoping 13th overall because this draft is really good. But if next year they get injuries and suck and we get like a top 10 pick,
Could be great.
we could have two picks in the top 10
Hmm.
next year. It's a first round pick. What I hate about this fucking fan base is that often we beg for we need to rebuild, we need prospects and picks. We
Hmm.
got that, and people are still unhappy that's not a defenseman. Defensemen are like gold in this league. It's gonna be
Yeah.
take a lot more than an aging centerman on an expiring contract to get a blue chip defensive prospect.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to give up more for that. And the next best thing than a defenseman is a centerman, and we got that.
Hmm.
And a younger, solidified forward who can serve us right now. That is, we save 1.5 million, just under. And his contract is only for another year and a half. And we're gonna be saving the $8.5 million cap hit that we have to pay Bo. Now, mind you, would I have rather paid Bo instead of JT Miller? Yes. Would I have traded both of them? There's a very good chance I would have traded both of them. And but my point is that yes, it's not a defenseman, but it's also a trade that we still needed to do, and I still think that we came away on top of this trade. Yes,
Yes.
Horvat is having a career year, but he's just over a point a game, and he's having a career year. I don't think it would be smart for the Canucks to bank on him being like this player for another 8 years at $8.5 million. I just don't
Yeah.
see it happening. But like when I was seeing that Bo Horvat montage and shit like that that the Canucks posted, yes, it made me very emotional because he was a fan favorite and, in my opinion, one of my favorite captains we've had part of the Canucks. I
Yeah.
love Bo Horvat, but it's just unfortunate the way that they prioritize Miller over him. I wish it was the other way around. But good luck to Horvat in the future, and I think he's going to kill it as an Islander if he is an Islander in a month.
Yeah.
We'll see if they flip him at the deadline if that is true. But I still think that Alvin and Rutherford, if this was the best that they could do, then I can't say I'm mad at it.
I also keep forgetting that the Canucks are just not the Saints and like they don't have a or didn't have a first round pick. So I keep thinking like, damn, we could have got more without realizing we're 27 right now out of 32 in the league standings. So that means if there wasn't such thing as a lottery, we would have the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth overall pick if there was no lottery and nothing like that happened at all. And you can't be mad with the sixth and the 13th overall pick at the moment. You can't be mad at that at all. And I feel like I'm just forgetting that like two picks in the top 15 as of right now is elite.
Yeah.
And call it what you want. The Islanders land at 13th and the Canucks land at fucking like below Chicago or Anaheim
Mm,
at Columbus. Like we know it's a generational talent. Like, do you want the second and the 13th or like something like that? And maybe Columbus is stupid enough to be like, fuck it, sure. And then boom, you just flipped a second and a 13th for a generational talent.
yeah.
Obviously, you probably wouldn't. That'd be like, but you know what? No first round pick is a lock because who knows? Bedard could totally fucking fail. And you find uh a
Yeah.
defenseman that you liked within the World Juniors, or even the goalie that played for Czechia. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? Like, I know we
Yeah.
talked about him a bit, and yeah, having
Yeah.
two first round picks can't
Yeah.
be mad. Can't be
No.
mad.
And I'm telling you right now, there's a chicken dick's chance that any team is trading the first overall pick. It's
I agree.
not happening. I
I
don't care
agree.
what you offer. It's it's not what I got a question.
Yeah.
If oh no, it's a dumb question. Never mind.
We're 5 games out of having the first overall pick, the highest chance.
like we have fifth best odds.
Well, Columbus is at 15 wins, so is Chicago,
What's the point?
Anaheim,
What's
and
points?
Arizona.
What's points though? So what?
Points.
Because there's like overtime losses and stuff that impact
Right. Okay, yeah.
points.
So we're 10 behind then. We're at 43. Columbus at 33.
Yeah. So
But I
which
mean,
is
hey,
which is
two
still
points for a
which is
win. That's exactly 10. That's exactly five
yeah
games.
yeah exactly yeah. I just realized I was like yeah I mean like you were still right,
Yeah.
but
Just took a weird path to get there.
yeah, but like if we were had five more wins or whatever, but we could have like 14 more points or some shit.
Because of
Um,
overtime points
yeah,
and shit like that. Yeah.
but no, it's just like I think no, whether it's like um Columbus, Chicago, whatever, if they hear that phone ring when they're about to walk up for that first overall pick, they're not even.
They're
We'll
gonna
give
be
you
like they're gonna be like Detroit was this year and have their pick in by like the first minute.
yeah, it's like as soon as the lottery, they're gonna tweet with the first
With
overall
the
pick. It's like, sir, the draft isn't. Yeah, no, but can we just like skip to the second overall pick? Because like
no,
everyone knows.
as soon as the fucking Stanley Cup happens, whatever team sitting in last place, like with the first overall pick, we will try to select Connor Bedard.
Yeah, it's just. You know what? I will fucking ask it. Whatever. I said it was a dumb
Okay.
question. Um, say you're Columbus.
Yeah.
Um, I forget the GM's name. It's Finnish though. Um, Edmonton calls you, be like, "Hey, do you want McDavid for first overall pick? You taking it?"
I mean, you gotta feel like where Columbus is at. Like, I don't even know, man. They have good players. They're just not performing. With the first overall pick, you could like use it on a goalie, and then you have McDavid, who definitely bring. Oh man,
Like, I people might say like yes right away, but also it's like you're wasting years of McDavid because you're not good enough to contend. Whereas Bedard, it's like you could build up with him,
I
right?
feel like I feel like Edmonton would need to send over like a like just like another collateral piece because obviously you're giving up years for someone who's the considerably greatest hockey player of all time.
Yeah.
But like when you think of Columbus, Chicago, and Anaheim and Arizona, you put like you say to yourself, Columbus is better than those teams, right? Like surely they have to be, but they're just not playing well.
Yeah, I mean, like Werenski has been hurt all year with a shoulder injury. Their
Right? Like
goalies have been like
terrible.
like the real question is like who's goaltending would you rather not have, Columbus or Vancouver? Like it's that situation. It's just like it's pretty fucking bad. Unnecessary shot of Vancouver there, sorry. But um no, yeah, I just think like Goudreau, Laine, those are good players, but I just also don't think Columbus is well put together. I think it's just a bunch of old scraps from different car companies into one shit box kind of thing that won't last. That's just
Yeah.
like you're putting band-aids on gashes pretty much with Columbus right now. And I just think they're trying to make it to the draft lottery. But yeah, no, that was just like just a little question. It's like, would you take because Connor McDavid is guaranteed. Whereas
Yeah,
like
it's a full
Bedard,
guarantee.
Bedard, he's generational, but he hasn't cracked the NHL yet. And it's like I don't know if I would, just because it's like my team's not really ready to contend anyways. If I remember when the Rangers got they still made the playoffs, but they got the first overall and got Lafreniere.
Yeah.
in the bubble. Like if that was this year and like some shit like that happened and they got like a playoff team who just squeezed in, got Connor Bedard somehow, 100% you'd take that. It's like,
Yeah,
yeah,
100%.
but
Yeah.
like Columbus, it's like I think they are just a bad team because a team that like has players who just aren't playing well aren't in dead last.
Yeah.
And I don't think Warinsky is a big enough piece on the back end to shift them to a competitive team, you know?
No, I know
So,
what you mean. Yeah.
I don't know if I would, but no, yeah, it's very interesting. But yeah, nonetheless, going back to it, I think Canucks getting that second first round pick is massive. And for fans to like continue to complain on whether or not this we could have got more, we don't fucking know. We don't know. We don't know
Hmm.
what talks are happening behind closed doors. We don't know. This could have been like the best offer out there. Someone could have been offering a B-level prospect and a second or some shit. Like we don't know what was offered. And yes, another team said they came in and went and or was going to send an offer for Bo, but the Canucks didn't even entertain it. They just said yes to the Islanders. It would have
Well,
been it would
who
have
do you
been
think that team would have been if they didn't even entertain it? Surely it's Seattle, right?
yeah, maybe Seattle or if it was just like um well, can you beat this is what the Islanders are offering. And they were like, I don't know. And then we're like, okay, well, we're just taking this.
Yeah, no, that's fair. And I mean, if that's the only offer on the board and you want to move on from Horvat because he wants to move on, I'm sure there were so many other teams that were linked and called in. They just didn't want to pay the price.
Yeah.
And Bo was probably like, yeah, they're not in a rebuild. They're in a pretty decent spot. They just need, some
They see goal
pucks to bounce
support.
their way. Yeah. And
And yeah.
Bob's your uncle. And now he's going to a team that theoretically could put up, 200 point or 300 point lines. It just they just need to play that way. And Bo is a great player, back and forth. So if this is the best that you got for him, plus he's not even a guarantee right now to sign with the Islanders, who's to say that with everything that happens, the Canucks totally just fucking blow everything up,
Yo, what if
that he comes
that
back and just coaches up a team and in 4 years, boom. Obviously, it's a long shot. It's never going to happen. But
what if the Islanders trade him to Seattle?
and see that is my only fear because
That would suck
obviously
ass.
Seattle and the Islanders have like no bad blood or no
They're
sort of
not division rivals.
exactly, not even conference. So
Yeah.
it would be that would be the cherry on top for all Vancouver fans. And if I bet you if Seattle is that like team, they're probably like, okay, we're not conference here. What the fuck do you actually want for this guy?
Yeah, let's make it happen.
Yeah.
But
Like, do you want our first? We'll give you the first.
yeah. Because like Seattle's a wagon right now. So
They
like,
are a wagon. They're
yeah.
ninth out of 32, which is fucking
Yeah.
unreal.
Yeah, and sitting top of the Pacific. So shout out to them. Real quick shout out to Seattle. Matty Beniers is lighting it up. Um, Vince Dunn is playing out of his mind right now, so respect to him as well. But no, um, lots to go over with Bo Horvat, but he was so beloved, and I'm gonna miss the hell out of him. And I
Fuck yeah.
am going to be cheering as a third party fan for him for the rest of his career, whether he's on Vancouver or not. Um, because he is one that I was really happy to see do well, and he does so much good that like aren't point related. Like he's so good in the face-off dot. He's a good leader. He's good for the community, and he's just a good player with skill, power, strength, and speed. Who like every I think Horvat's a coach's dream. He doesn't complain who he plays with. He does everything right. And right now he's been proven that he can put the puck in the net in different ways. So I think the Islanders are going to love him. I understand Islanders fans maybe being a bit frustrated because they don't want to overpay for someone having a career year with no extension signed after giving up a first, a prospect, and a roster player. But if it pays off and they go on deep playoff runs, then who knows if it's worth it? It depends what their expectations of what a trade's worth. Um, but no, good luck to Bo Horvat, and thank you for your service, Cap. We appreciate it. But we're gonna move
Salute.
on. Um, Chicago Blackhawks on ice legend, Bobby Hall, dies at age 84. Um, he had a career 604 goals, 549 assists. He was inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame in 1983. That same year, his number 9 was retired by the Chicago Blackhawks. Look, Bobby Hall, complete legend on the ice. Funny stories about him blowtorching his hockey stick pregame and then putting it under a doorway and bending it so that he had one of the most disgusting curves of all time. But he also wasn't necessarily a gem off the ice. A few different allegations gone towards him, with some substance abuse, domestic violence allegations. He had a wild quote saying Hitler has done some good things or had some good ideas.
Sounds like Kanye right now. God damn.
He was yay before yay. Um, no, yeah, it's two different perspectives. Um, he changed a lot for the game of hockey on the ice when he played. Um, but I mean, as gross as it sounds, but it's like they don't put you in the Hockey Hall of Fame for your off ice stuff. It's like what you did on the ice and for the game of hockey, and he did a lot, so we gotta respect him for that. But off the ice is like he didn't seem like he was the best person to be around. He's kind of his family is kind of cut off communications with him because of how he treated them. But rest um rest easy, Bobby Hall. Um yeah. But you have anything to add, Hayde? No?
Not really. I didn't really know too
No.
much about him.
No fair. Uh Next topic. Trevor Zegras. Now, this is a very interesting discussion. He's under fire as of right now. Things have kind of died down a little bit because some facts have come up, but nothing is really conclusive, and a lot of people are speculating over the conclusive news and confirmations that have been tweeted out by beat reporters and insiders and things like that. But to describe the situation, Arizona and Anaheim got into a little bit of a kerfuffle in the corner. More specifically, Trevor Zegras and Troy Stecher. And for people who don't know, Troy Stecher's father passed away from diabetes complications back in 2020 on Father's Day. And it was obviously a very rough period for Troy Stecher. He was his mentor, his coach, his hero, basically, and did so much for Stecher's game. And he was basically deserved a statue among his teammates in Vancouver. He was so beloved. And so it was obviously very, very hard losing your father and stuff like that. But in an altercation, in that kerfuffle, as I said, Trevor Zegras, it looked to see that he made a very inappropriate comment towards Stecher, and Stecher got completely irate. Like, he was furious. And people were like, why would he get so upset over a simple chirp? Hockey players don't react that way to a simple, you suck at hockey, who are you? You're irrelevant kind of thing. They don't react that way to those kind of chirps. And he looked to point up to the sky, and it seemed the rumor was that he made comments about his father. And what I heard is that, hey, your dad is watching over us right now, or something like that. Something along those lines was reported. Now, if those comments are true, Zegras is fucked. He's an idiot. And he deserves to be one of the most hated players in the league. People are already a fan of him because he's a cocky little arrogant poster boy, but he's he's influenced a lot of young players in the game, and you can't deny his talent. But this would change a lot of people's opinions to directly just hating him, because that is a disgusting act if those comments are true. But
Hmm.
there's no audio or anything to confirm what he said, so everything right now is up to speculation. And what we've heard is that it's all been denial. But what was your reaction to these reports about Zegras and Troy Stecher and everything like that?
Initial thought, you gotta be kidding me. Like, there's no way someone would ever say anything like that that is so inhumane. I think people are obviously just trying to make storylines, but you don't know until the truth comes out.
Yeah.
You don't know until, like, Zegras has said that he didn't say that, but we haven't heard anything else from Stecher. So until you hear something from him, and I don't know if he will say anything, because maybe let it brew up like that, and maybe let the media hate on Zegras, even though Zegras has become a pretty big poster boy for the NHL, as he was on the cover of NHL 23, I'm pretty sure. So it's obvious to see that, oh, he's well liked, so let's try and hate him. But I do agree in a sense where no one really reacts like that unless they're easily triggerable, or they make a fucked up comment like that. And so that's where my headspace is at, because no one knows. I'd like to think that no one would say anything like that, especially a young and upcoming, potential superstar. So I'm gonna hold off my high hopes and just
Yeah.
say that, hopefully this all gets figured out. But if it does come to a point where it's like, yeah, that was said by Zegras, and it's like, well, man, you are a dickhead.
No, I agree. In the post game media, Stetcher said that things weren't made about his father, and that he doesn't want to talk about it. And hockey players usually don't necessarily put guys under fire right away. So maybe Stetcher was like holding back on what was actually said because he didn't want things to brew up. But also, I heard a bunch of I saw a video or something, and it looked like he was like, you can say whatever you want about me, but just don't bring my family into this. So maybe like Zegers didn't say anything about his dad, but he brought up part of his family that Stetcher didn't like. Who knows? Like you said, we're
Hmm.
playing the if like the uh we're playing a game of speculation right now, and it's not really fair to Zegras or Stetcher, but
Yeah.
it's one that if it is true, like, man, you can't be doing that.
No,
But
you can't.
we'll see. We'll see if there's anything that comes up in the future, because I am on board with you. I don't really like making full proclamations or opinions when until I get the 100% facts. And if this is 100% facts, then Zegras still made inappropriate comments where no one should ever do that, but at least it wasn't what was initially reported.
Hmm.
Um, onto a bit lighter note, we got basically lighter notes for the remainder of the show. Uh, John Tavares hit 1,000 NHL games. He got 2 assists in his NHL game. Dude, the fact that he's already hitting 1,000 is insane to me.
Absolutely.
It feels like he just came into the league like yesterday. I know he said that about like Beauvillier and stuff like that, but like time flies with this guy. And maybe it's because I completely forgot he played for New York, and maybe I'm just thinking about a stint with Toronto.
Hmm.
But he also just, I don't know if he's just aged beautifully, but he doesn't look like a guy who's already played 1,000 games.
Yeah, no, it's kind of crazy just to see like 1,000 games is like what, 14 seasons, something like that.
Yeah, he got drafted in 2009.
Yeah, 14 years.
Yeah.
Like, no, that's not right. That's not right. But
Yeah.
yet somehow it is. And you don't even think that time flies. And then you got to think shortened seasons. So
Yeah.
he's kind of been like an Iron Man
Yeah, it's like
as
Ovi with
well.
his goals. It's like how close would he have been if like he didn't have four shortened seasons, two lockouts and two COVID
Yeah,
seasons?
that's
Like
crazy, man.
he could have already broken it by now. Like Tavares could have hit 1,000 2 years ago if like it wasn't for those shortened seasons, right? It's crazy. But congratulations to John Tavares. He deserves it. He's been a catalyst in this league and Olympic um forward for the 2014 Team Canada team. Unfortunately, I think that's when he blew out his Achilles or something like that, and he couldn't play in the tournament, which changed the narrative for NHLers in the Olympics. Thank you, John. Dick. You ruined it for everyone. No, I'm playing. But
Dickhead.
yeah, what an ass. But no, yeah, shout out John Tavares. Congratulations. E-bug alert.
E-bug.
Do you like the e-bugs or should they try and figure out a different way of getting a third goalie in there?
I like the e-bugs. They're fun.
All right. Uh
No back plate on the jerseys. Fucking hilarious. Just like
yeah,
a practice jersey almost.
yeah. They usually cook some up right before, but because I don't think it takes long to like they just grab like a unused number and just quickly
Yeah, stitch it.
yeah,
Put like
stamp the
four
name on.
put like four buttons on like the corners.
Yeah, exactly. Temporary Velcro jerseys.
That
Yeah.
that'd actually be pretty smart.
Yeah.
Fuck.
But Matt Berlin, a student of University of Alberta, comes in for the Oilers against Chicago and they were up 7-3, so there was no reason for Campbell to stay in the game. Jeff Skinner got hurt very
Stuart Skinner.
shortly. Who did I say?
Jeff Skinner.
Ah,
Throwback.
Calder. Yeah, Stuart Skinner got hurt, I think in warm-ups or just shortly before uh warm-ups took place. So they needed a third goalie right away, called him up. Berlin was studying for a psychology midterm, if I read correctly, or yeah, psychology, I believe. And as he should, dropped everything, got his equipment, and headed over to Rogers Center, I think is where the Oilers play. There's like three Rogers
Yeah, I
sponsored
think it is Rogers
places.
Center, yeah.
Yeah. In Edmonton and suited up. And when the Oilers had a commanding 7-3 lead with 2.5 minutes left, they were like, "Hey kid, you're in." And he said in post-game media he thought they were fucking with him. He's like, "I'm not going in. There's no way." But they said, "No, in 3 minutes, you're up." And he's like, "Say less." Went in, made a save, and made a memory of a lifetime. Um, yeah, what do you think of the story? It's pretty cool to see.
Oh, it's such a cool story. And now he's gonna go back to U of A and he's gonna be like, yeah, just played with McDavid on the ice, you know.
Yeah,
Got
not
to
a big
meet the
deal.
whole team. Like, oh, that'd be absolutely fucking unreal
Yeah.
to be just a last minute call up and just say, fuck you, school. I'm gonna go play for a professional sports team. Fuck yeah.
Oh, 100%. It's like I'm not gonna. I was barely studying anyways.
Yeah, fuck this shit.
Yeah, I don't need this.
No.
No, yeah, it's a really cool thing to see. So congratulations to him. Hurricanes, they are absolutely rolling right now. I think they are. I think they're still my cup final pick. I'm not worried about that at all. I just think they're being coached the right way. They handed Bruins their third straight loss for the first time this season. Uh, what do you make of the Hurricanes and just absolutely rolling right now?
Dude, it's crazy. Like they are quite literally rolling over everyone.
Yeah,
And it's it's not something I really saw coming, like to be first in the Metro, right? They're first.
yeah,
Yeah, no, didn't see that. Didn't have that on my my NHL bingo card this year.
yeah. No, just like Aho's playing outstanding. Martin Nakash, like that game against San Jose, he tied it up with 12 seconds and then scored the OT winner.
Yeah, that
Following,
was crazy.
and he continued to get snubbed from the All-Star game. I still think he should have fucking made it over Panarin,
Hmm.
but Svechnikov, fucking Brent Burns is playing good. Even with Freddie Anderson going down, they got Kochnikov and Ranted stepping up to the plate and winning games for them. Like Carolina is just rolling right now, and they're being coached right, and they're gonna be a force to be reckoned with come playoff time. So watch out for Raleigh. Um,
Yeah, I really hate though how Slavin has just been day to day and out with like no updates for my fantasy team because he's quite literally been a pretty good fucking pickup. Like
yeah,
for the 4 games I had him, he got me like a goal and an assist, 4 shots on net or 4 blocks, 2 assists, and then a plus minus and a couple of blocks. Like he's just a solid player.
yeah, he is one of the more underrated defensemen in the league. And when you look up what a defenseman is, he should be winning the Norris goddamn trophy every single year. Um, like I literally think they should build a trophy around him so that he can get the recognition he deserves because he's never gonna win a Norris because he doesn't put enough points. But in terms of like defensive defenseman, he's as good as they come.
Oh,
He
absolutely.
is up there for best in the league. So on top of that, like dynamic, well built, deep team that Carolina has, this could be their year. They just need goaltending, and right now they've been getting it.
Hmm.
Tired. Yeah, we're gonna continue on. Going back to the Canucks for a couple of points here. Ilya Mikheyev out for the season with ACL injury. He went down for surgery. Apparently, this dated back to the injury he suffered in preseason. Don't know why he was playing all year on one leg. Uh, but apparently he should be back for camp. So recover soon, Ilya. Always tough injury to get ACL surgery. It kind of sucks, but in other news, Andrei Kuzmenko sends a 2-year, $11 million contract, 5.5 AAV. Um, what was your initial reaction to this, Aid?
Well, I know when I messaged you, I was like, "Holy fuck!" Like that's a good deal, but probably should have flipped them. Because we're not really in a place. But as reports are coming out now, Alvin, I think, said they value Kuzmenko, Pedersen, and Hughes as a core,
Yeah,
and that's a pretty good core. Like three, if those are top three of your 5 players, you're not mad with
yeah,
that. And especially if they can, flip some more pieces um now and get assets, future assets, all the power to you. But if if you're signing Kuzmenko to a 2-year extension for less than Brock Besser, I think that tells Canucks fans that yeah, we're looking to move on from him. Besser, that is, because there's no way that in your head you're like, how is Besser making more than Kuzmenko right now? I know it's Kuzmenko's first season, but there's something different with him, and I know we talked about this too, and almost
yeah.
comparing them. And now Kuzmenko gets a lesser contract, but looks like he's a way better player. Yeah, we're probably gonna retain a lot of Besser, but awesome for Kuzmenko in my opinion.
Yeah, no, 100%. Kuzmenko's just he's a game breaker. He has speed, he has a really good shot, and he has a really good attitude and works hard. He's everything you want in a player. I think we should have flipped him, but it's not like a 7-year commitment we signed him to. 2-year commitment. If it doesn't necessarily work out next year, it's not a hard contract to trade.
Hmm.
And if we have to retain some salary, we're not doing it for a 4-year period where um it's only like at it's gonna be under 2 years by the time by the time this kicks in and stuff. And yeah, I think it would have been good asset management, but also I think he would have been traded if he hadn't developed the chemistry he has with Patterson. But I think like if you want to keep Patterson, you might have to sacrifice and keep Kuzmenko too, because
Hmm. They're building
and
up chemistry, like you said.
yeah, and it's not like we're talking about Kuzmenko being like such a fucking bad player. It's like, oh, we have to keep Kuzmenko. Like he's a really good player, and I think the contract we signed him to is correct for where we're at as a team.
Hmm.
And if he blows it up in his second year of the deal, like he gets like 90-point pace, 30, 35 goals at the deadline type of shit.
Hmm.
Who knows? Maybe we flip him then,
Yeah,
right?
very
But
possible.
keep getting picks and stuff like that and prospects and everything like that, because he'll be around 29 years old when his deal is up, or
Yeah.
when he's in the last year of his deal. So the contract itself, I think, is a good signing. It's not a long commitment. It's a good AAV for the type of player he is. But that I think the flip could have been nice. Who knows? Maybe they dangled him out in front, but no one was giving them any traction. So they're like, we're just gonna jump on this good deal now. Who knows? But nonetheless, it's a decent deal. It's just like I hope we ship out money on the wing because we have like $35 million on in wingers right now. And
Yeah, it's not
Garland,
looking good.
Mikheyev, Besser, Kuzmenko, now Beauvillier. It's just like how much money are we gonna spend on wingers? It's JT Miller. It's crazy. So yeah, we got to figure that out because we have to put our priorities in the right positions. Um, what else we got here? Flyers, Minnesota. It was basically like fucking Royal Rumble out there. Did you uh did you catch this?
No, I didn't.
There's 3 fights in 15 seconds.
Nice. Let's go.
And then there's a fourth and fifth one um after that too. And
Okay.
it was absolutely insane. Zach McEwen, former Canuck, he fractured his jaw in a fight, and he will be out for 5 months. So that's kind of a bit of a wah wah, but it was absolutely insane. Every time the puck dropped, the mitts were off, and they were just fighting each other. It was crazy. So that's the kind of style of hockey that puts the people in their seats, or I guess gets them watching the games. It kind of gets them out of their seats because they like cheering for it for so much. But no, it was really entertaining. Sasha Barkov is replacing Austin Matthews at the All-Star game. I think it should have been Nylander. That's besides the point. But congrats to Barkov. Oh, we also forgot to say Horvat will represent Vancouver at the All-Star game
Yeah,
still.
that's so tough, man.
Yeah. It's weird, but maybe
Uh,
that was something the NHL ran by them first. Be like, hey, Horvat, Islanders, Canucks, is this still okay with you guys? And they're all like, yeah, sure. Um, don't know why um the Canucks couldn't maybe shake on this deal and then
after.
and or like, hey, um, do we agree to this trade? Yeah, sure, but let's do it after the All-Star game so that Horvat can still do this. I don't know if that's hypocritical for the Bruce situation, but just like have it mutual agreement to have this trade go through. because I don't think either of them play until the All-Star break is over.
No, they don't. Yeah.
So I just don't see why they wouldn't have it go through. But it's still weird.
Apparently, I had heard one thing where Horvat already had this trip planned. Um, without knowing he was going to, so like he was taking his family to Disney World in
Yeah,
Florida.
yeah.
So he was gonna go there and then meet with the team back for the Rangers game. And now it's just kind of like, yeah, well, maybe don't come back home. Or maybe don't meet us in New York. Maybe meet a different team in New York.
Yeah.
So
But
it's I bet you like while he's taking that trip, he's probably like called movers like, hey, yeah, I need everything moved.
it just sucks because it's like a weekend where like he should be enjoying himself, but now he's trying to figure out like
Yeah, it's
logistics
probably
and
gonna be a
shit.
pretty emotional time with him and Pedersen.
Yeah, kind of sucks. But Dougie Hamilton is playing out of his mind right now. It sucks because the Metro is full of players who deserve all-star appearances. Jack Hughes is probably the one I would send to the All-Star game from New Jersey. It just sucks that Dougie Hamilton is having an outstanding year as well. Adam Fox was the defenseman voted in over him. I wouldn't have been mad if it was Dougie Hamilton. This guy's playing so good this year. 13 goals, 33 assists for 46 points, almost point per game on a team that's like top 5 in the league. So it like he just continues to show up when he's healthy, and he is such a good player for this team. He's continuously putting the puck in the back of the net while playing well defensively. Um, so Jack Hughes, Devils, Brat, Palat, like they're all playing great this year.
Oh yeah.
And last point is the one that everyone's tanking for, Bedard. This guy is hilarious. 31 points in 9 games. 6 hat tricks on the season. And he has 42 goals and 85 points over a 33 game point streak.
That's pretty good, I'd say.
Hot take, Bedard is good. That is not real.
Yeah, that's absolutely outlandish.
33 85 points in 33 games and 31 points in 9 games.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's
Pretty good.
psycho. That is crazy. But
Oh my god.
yeah, that's all we got for hockey this week. It is the All-Star game, and I might tune into it. It's been pretty boring the past few weeks, but I think I'm gonna watch it for Horvat and Pedersen's sake. To see what they do. But I wish they kind of went back to the draft style.
Yeah, that would have been fun.
I like the drafting of it. I think that's like what the NBA does, right? They get 2 captains in the draft. I think it should do the same thing there.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I
But
agree. That would have been fun.
yeah. But hey, you got some football with us. We got some games to go over, some controversies to cover. How about you kick us off here with some
Boom.
football talk?
Boom diggity. First, I'll go over some quick news just because a lot of shit has gone down in just a short period of time. So some new coaches. The Panthers hire Frank Reich. I think it's funny because his name's Reich and he's Franklin Reich, the Franklin Reich the third. So last time a third Reich was hailed, anyways, um the Pro Bowl also got just so much shittier. Joe Burrow is deciding not to attend, so Derek Carr is taking his place. Josh
Bro,
Allen is also deciding not to attend, and Tyler Huntley is taking his place. You heard correctly. Tyler Huntley.
Bro, the quarterbacks that are representing the AFC is laugh out loud funny.
Quarterbacks representing the AFC, quarterback starting in the AFC. It's like the meme where it's like up here starting, Pro Bowl so far down, it's not even funny.
Trevor Lawrence, Tyler Huntley, and Derek Carr are the quarterbacks for the
Jesus
AFC.
fucking Christ. The Pro Bowl's a joke now. Absolute joke. I will not be tuning into any of this. Maybe the flag football just to see, but it's going to be tough just to even want to look at like the YouTube highlights of this shit. Like it's awful. Um the Texans hire 49ers defensive coordinator D'Amico Ryans as their new head coach. Uh this is fucking awesome because in like 2 years time he's going to get fired and then people are just going to say that it was all a ship for him being black. I hate this conversation. I'm sorry, but like people aren't just put in as a head coach to just do shit.
Yeah.
Like Lovie Smith was given a terrible team. You could have put any coach in there and they would have done terribly.
Yeah.
And they probably would have been fired. Look at Nathaniel Hackett and fucking Adam Gase. I don't know how Adam Gase had more of a job for more than a year, but he did. Well, he got them to the playoffs, but that's anyways. But like, I like the hire of D'Amico Ryans. It's just if the Texans do shitty next year and people start saying it's because he was put in no position, it's like no coach is put in a position with that team.
Yeah.
So I hope to dear God that he at least does not come last in the AFC South.
Yeah. I just hope, like, at least, when the Detroit Lions had a season, I think the first year of Campbell, he brought energy, but they still had like 2 wins on the year.
Yeah.
If it's something like that and he gives them reason to be like, trust the process, that's all you have to do. It's just like, for a shit team like Houston, you just have to give them reason to maybe believe in you.
Yeah.
Where it's like, maybe they didn't see it with the other ones, but if you just bring this energy to maybe give a spark to your team, I think a defensive coordinator for the 49ers can maybe do
Oh,
the trick.
obviously. And you look at Robert Saleh too. Like
Yeah,
he's completely turned around the Jets.
exactly.
And I mean, they didn't make playoffs, but neither did Detroit. But it took them 2 years to figure it out for both of them. So,
Yeah.
and I mean, what organization are you really going to trust other than the Texans? No, no one else. So,
Yeah.
but then the big hire after the Broncos didn't want to do anything, and then D'Amico Ryans was hired by the Texans. The Broncos agreed to trade for New Orleans Saints retired head coach Sean Payton, and it kind of with the quite similar situation with the Canucks are in. I'm all over Saints Twitter and Saints Reddit, and they're just freaking out because they're like, "Oh, we got like a late first," and it's like we didn't have a first, but now we do, and then we also got an early second rounder and our second rounder, so that's 3 picks in the top 64.
Yeah.
That's pretty fucking good. So
That's like when we traded Gronk for like a fourth round pick. People were like, only a fourth? It's like, dude, it was either he retires or plays for someone else.
yeah, like
So it's like
he
we got
was
a free
pretty much
pick.
retired. Yeah,
Yeah, so it's like you guys got the fact that you got first round picks plus for a coach that wasn't coming back to your team
pretty remarkable.
is you take those, babe. That's
Oh
the
yeah,
thing I've been saying lately. We take those.
no, we
That
absolutely take those. And
so
that was the minimum requirement when we were talking the other day. And I was like,
yeah.
it's going to be a first and a second, and obviously two firsts would be ideal. But I mean, it's also future assets that haven't been yet pronounced. So I bet you anything if the Broncos make it deep into the playoffs, it's probably another first because it's probably not going to matter. Um, or it'll be like a second for the next year. and
Yeah.
all we had to give up was a third in 2024. And our third round selections have not been good. So
Yeah.
I'll take it.
No, yeah, exactly. Yeah, you take those.
We
100%.
absolutely take those. And seeing is, this draft is kind of deep. Um, and obviously cap numbers have come out. Yeah, New Orleans is $57 million over the cap, but I just read an article that says we can get under the cap with 6 moves, and then we can also gain $30 million in cap space with 2 moves. So
The cap space doesn't exist in the NFL. It
it
does.
doesn't. It doesn't. Like we're
Say,
gonna
oh, I'm gonna turn my last year into a signing bonus. They'll save us $30 million. Okay.
pretty much. So
It's like the fact
and
the
that's
loopholes in the NFL are
that's
insane.
exactly what's happening with the Michael Thomas situation. Like this is ridiculous. This is a pretty clear indication that Michael Thomas is leaving. I also haven't brought this up, but the Saints have basically said to Thomas, if you play 4 games next year, you're getting paid $60 million by us. So that's not happening for a receiver. So
Yeah.
it's very clear and obvious that he will be cut, and the dead cap for him is like $12 million this year, which is not bad, but then we save like another 20.
Yeah.
So
For someone who's played like 30 seconds with you guys for the past like 3 years,
4 years, yeah. Yeah, so
that
obviously it
that
looks
guy
like
really that guy
he's gone.
really said that guy really caught 180 passes and dipped.
Yeah, literally broke a record, or he got his money, broke a record, and then injury, and then he realized like, oh, it's Drew's last season, and the doctors are pushing him, and now it's just fucked his life. But he'll be cemented as like the best possession receiver because he dropped one pass, I think, that year.
Yeah.
That was catchable. So yeah, that's hats off to New Orleans for being so great medically. Look at their basketball team. The same doctors, dude. Like it's awful.
Really?
Awful. No wonder Zion can never get fully healed.
Yeah. A
But
joke.
not a basketball podcast. But yeah, so that's a lot of like new coaching hires. Oh, wait, yeah, I forgot. Patriots finally realize their mistake, and they hire an actual offensive coordinator, Billy O'Brien.
Billy B.
Mac Jones whisperer? Question mark? Question mark?
Well, so everyone only remembers Bill O'Brien as
The failed GM and head coach
failed
of the
GM
Texans.
who traded DeAndre Hopkins for David
David
Johnson.
Johnson. Yes.
DeAndre Hopkins and a fourth for like David Johnson and like a third and a fourth or some shit. It was wildly
Terrible
disrespectful.
trade.
But Bill O'Brien as a coach himself, he basically like he helped develop Deshaun Watson to what he is today. Yes,
As a football player, not a human.
yes, thank you. Thank you for that caveat. Yes, has to be noted. It was both concerns.
Yeah.
But
Get Mac
but
Jones a therapist.
yeah,
Not a massage therapist, just
yeah.
a therapist.
Buyer beware. No, but Bill O'Brien helped develop Deshaun Watson into the football player he is, which is a great football player. You can't deny the fact. He was great on Houston. And he helped them take him to the playoffs, and they were like a really good offense there. And so I think like if he only has like coordinator duties and like quarterbacks coach, I really think that he can help this team a lot. Again, I'm not like expecting him to reinvent the fucking wheel. It's just anything but a defensive coordinator as our offensive coordinator, I'm happy with. I don't watch college ball often, and from what I've heard, he didn't help Alabama a ton this year. Like people were like, as an Alabama fan, thank you for taking him off our hands. So it doesn't really sound great, but I guess college ball is much different than the NFL.
So different.
We've seen college coaches not work at the NFL level. We've seen NFL coaches not work at the college level. Like You have your niche. You know what you're used to coaching. Like Nick Saban, one of the greatest college football coach of all time, had
Sucked as an NFL head
his
coach.
his best record was a game under 500 or something like that for Miami, or like it was like 9-7 or some shit. It was like a very average season in the NFL, but he's one of the greatest college football coaches of all time, if not the greatest college football coach of all time,
Hmm.
right? So Bill O'Brien, I think, as an offensive coordinator itself, and he doesn't have the duties of being a GM and a coach and shit like that. I think just being the offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach, he can really help Mac Jones like get an understanding and like develop better as a because Mac Jones has been fucked over so far, in my opinion. It just really hasn't been able to get off on the right foot. What does he have? 2 years of McDaniels and 1 year of Patricia or something like that. Like
And Judge, yeah.
he hasn't really gotten much, right? So I hope that like he can find a groove with O'Brien and stick to it, and hopefully it all turns out positive. We'll see. I'm just happy we actually have an offensive mind running
Yeah,
our offense.
I
It only
agree.
makes sense. It only makes sense. But um
What
another
was
one
the
I want
second piece that you wanted to say?
Kellen Moore is
Oh,
dipping the Cowboys. And rumors are, I don't know if it's confirmed or not, but he's probably going to be the Chargers OC, which is, if I'm Herbert, I have a hard on right now. Kellen Moore has been great for Dallas. He's basically coordinated them to two top five offenses in his 4 years there. Um, if I'm Dallas, I'm kind of pissed off about it because he really catapulted Dak into becoming the gunslinger he is and really helped elevate that offense. I think Herbert is a much better quarterback than Dak.
hmm.
And I think if the Chargers in this draft can get some speed at the receiver position, then the Chargers offense can take a massive leap than it did this year. Joe Lombardi wasn't it, but I think Kellen Moore is the real deal to have as an offensive coordinator. Um, so I like this move for the Chargers. I think it's a no risk, high reward for this. Um, Kellen Moore hasn't shown that he can't succeed at this position, but he's shown that he can. So if it doesn't work out, then I think it's more than Kellen Moore. But I'm really happy if I'm a Chargers fan. If I'm like
Yeah,
one of the
it's
five Chargers fans out there.
yeah, seriously, fuck. I mean, it's going to be a lot different, um, because you're switching two different types of quarterback playing. I almost feel like they play very similar, but there's a difference when you look at Herbert versus when you look at Dak. So I also really like
What differences are you exactly saying?
differences in being ball security, arm power, um, just a lot more field awareness. If we're
Yeah.
talking like basically sticks and stones of football here, even though we're not. But I also feel like the Chargers offense is a little bit they're not as young, obviously.
No, yeah, exactly. They need to get younger through the draft and shit.
They do, yeah. And they definitely need someone to carry the load off from Eckler. Like I know he's great, but he's not gonna stay that way forever.
Can only give him so
Uh
many touches, right?
exactly. And like Mike Williams, man, like guy breaks his ankle like every other year. So or breaks his back. And then Keenan Allen, right? Like he's not fast anymore. He's just he'll break you on a couple of routes and he'll go up for the occasional, high point in the end zone. But I mean, they need to figure out a way to utilize Donald Parham, who's a young, bright spot tight end. They need to get, younger, like you said in the draft. But I mean, Palmer is,
Carter.
yeah, Carter's old. I think he's like 7 years into his NFL career. But Palmer definitely seems to be, you know, a rising star.
Yeah.
So they need another like he said, speedy possession guy, I'd say for them, because man, oh man, if they can't, then they might just have to trade Herbert and start over because this is going to be tough. And if another bad year's in the works for the Chargers, see you later, Brandon Staley.
They should have traded for Calvin Ridley.
They should have,
That
but they
would have been a
didn't.
great piece for them.
But we'll see what happens in the offseason as there is a lot of free agents this year. I think it's like one of the most like biggest pool of free agents that the NFL's had in quite some time.
Yeah, try and like don't go possession just because you have possession in Keenan if he can stay healthy because he showed when he was healthy that he was still being able to get catches and stuff. But you
Mm-hmm.
need speed and like good receiver, like a good speed receiver, not just a deep threat, but someone who can actually like catch the ball and run after, get yards after catch and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so like even if you try and maybe like I know Cooks is old, but if you sign Cooks, he's a good deep threat that can like at least like stretch the field and open space up for players like Keenan Allen. I know he's old, but like he's someone who can get up the field quicker than any other receiver you have on your team. So even like
Mm-hmm.
if you can get it for cheap, um, or just like something else, but
They'd have to
yeah.
trade. They'd have to trade for him because he is signed with Houston still.
Oh, I thought he was a
But
pendant.
Houston actually might. No,
I thought he was a
Houston might
UFA.
cut him though.
I thought he was a free agent.
No, not yet. He signed a contract last year, 2 years,
Oh,
20 something million.
gotcha. I thought that was the year before.
No, but that's it for NFL news. Obviously, it's going to get a lot slower with the NFL, which is to be expected.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to make the last 2 weeks here a little bit more enjoyable. Hopefully, news pops up, but as of right now,
I
this will
honestly
be
think I honestly think with the NFL, like it's shifting to like there's really no off season because there's always kind of stuff to talk about. But
it's very little.
yeah,
Like I presume there'd be like a handful of things, and I don't want to reach for things.
yeah,
So I think as the next 2 weeks kind of tones down, it'll be the last. This will be like the last really big review up until draft day, and hopefully by then, um, can have a little something going for
yeah.
then.
The next two shows we'll talk about the Super Bowl.
Of course,
Um, won't talk about it this week, but next two episodes after this one, we'll have Super Bowl talk in there, and then yes,
preview and then a review.
yeah, and that's
Yeah,
kind of all she wrote.
but with that being said, let's review uh
What
these
happened?
last two games.
For sure, for sure.
Uh, with both, we'll just talk about the games and strictly how they were.
Mm-hmm.
And then if we want to get into a little preemptive reffing after, we can definitely do that because holy fuck. I saw a very relatable meme as a Saints fan today, and I honestly wanted to repost it. So maybe I will. Maybe I will because I'm that dead inside. Anyways, NFC Championship game. Eagles defeat the 49ers and have the easiest path to a Super Bowl I've ever seen in my life. They crushed the Giants, and then unfortunately, Cinderella story Brock Purdy, third string quarterback, seems to have torn his UCL. He now needs surgery,
Six
and
months.
he won't be back for OTAs. He might miss preseason, and this basically puts a whole big fucking what if question mark on Brock Purdy because obviously the last couple shows I've been pretty high on him. But now it's like, well, I don't know. It looks like Garoppolo was smiling as they were losing. Looks like he's officially done. Um, it could like San Francisco could try and trade for Tom or not try and trade for Tom Brady, but try and sign Tom Brady. With that's a route, but sticking with the game, the Eagles just once Brock Purdy went down, you're like, this game's over.
Yeah.
Like
Josh,
Josh Johnson, 15th team, not happening, bud.
I thought it was like 13th team in 15 years or some shit.
15th team.
Yes.
Like it's not happening. There's a reason why
Suitcase.
he's not stuck to a roster. There's a reason why he was a fourth string quarterback. And that really just shows this whole year for the Niners have been so up and down. Did they deserve to be there? Yeah. Was it lucky? Yeah. Um, but like they just if they're gonna go all in, they need to go all in. And I feel like that's why maybe you let Purdy sit behind Brady, try and trade Lance, fucking cut ties with Garoppolo, like really push your chips all in because you have a team to win right now. Um, and the Eagles, they're winning right now.
Yeah. I mean, there's not really much else to say. Like,
They
I,
manhandled the number one defense.
yeah. That's the thing is like, people always say it's like they haven't played anyone offensively threatening. And then I'm like, yeah, I get that. But they also put up 31 on the number one scoring defense. That's something you got to pay respects to. And a few of my friends were like, yeah, I guess that's fair. I'm like, any,
That's more than
yeah,
fair.
anyone puts up 31 on anyone, they deserve respect. And especially San Francisco's defense. Everyone was like,
Oh,
this one's going to be a dogfight. But the Eagles, Jalen Hurts didn't have the best stats in the air, but it showed like how dangerous he is because when he is connected in the air, there's a good chance that Eagles offense is dialed.
yeah.
And the fact that they still put up 31 is insane. That
Hassan
Eagles
Reddick.
that Eagles D line and Hassan Reddick more specifically
Yeah.
was I don't know what they took before that game, but they
They were
were
all over the quarterbacks.
cracked out. And I feel so bad for Brock Purdy because people were going at him on Twitter and being like, dude, it's a do or die game. How do you not play?
So he
Bro,
literally couldn't throw.
it's the main ligament that helps you give throwing power in your arm. It
Yeah.
was torn. He could barely throw a screen pass to McCaffrey. How
Like
can you
he
throw with a
he would have
torn
had
UCL?
he would have had better luck going in there and throwing with his left fucking
Yeah.
hand.
Like, dude,
No,
like it was raps. And like as a 49er, like how do you game plan for using all four quarterbacks? Like,
for a whole year. Yeah,
because Josh Johnson
it's
got hurt
ridiculous.
too. It was like
McCaffrey literally had to throw a pass.
yeah, like you can't plan for that. And it's
No.
obviously now like they're going to because they're like, well, fuck, we weren't expecting to be in that spot, but I guess we have to now because we've been in it.
Yeah.
But no, like Eagles deserve that win 1000%.
Yeah.
It was a much more of a blowout than I thought it was going to be. Uh, but like, I mean, that run by McCaffrey, when I saw that, I was like, Jesus.
Oh,
Like,
and
it
I
was,
have to just cream myself too because it like the last hit that McCaffrey put on was on Gardner Johnson. So I was like, fucking rights, McCaffrey. Also, that did help me win a $73 bet with McCaffrey scoring, as well as Travis Kelsey. But
love
yeah,
it.
yeah, no, that it was an absolute manhandling.
Yeah.
Also, I just want to say the offensive mind of Kyle Shanahan. Um, how the fuck do you not account for Brandon Graham and Hassan Reddick? Like every time they did a play action pass, Graham and Reddick were right there to meet any of the quarterbacks or any of the running backs. And it's like, do you not have someone come over and like block him? Like even just throw Kittle and like get him out there, chip him,
Yeah.
do something. But they were like staring at him face to face with no one in between them. And that is what's really upsetting because it shows that the Eagles adapted right on the fly,
Yeah.
everywhere. And
Yeah, they
that's
did.
what's so scary about the Eagles defense. And I don't want to give props to myself, but I did say that the
No.
Eagles defense was going to be scary.
No, yeah,
I
they're
did say that the Eagles were going to be good.
don't waste your time because I'm cutting this out of the audio. But no, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I'm cutting this out. But no, yeah, it's their defense is just their whole team, top to bottom, is
Great
fucked.
team. Yeah.
And they're the the line um opened up with the Eagles favored in the Super Bowl right now, and I don't really think that's a hot take against any team. It's not hot putting them as the favorite just because they're the best built team in the league right now, and you
Yep.
can't argue with that. They're built for a run. They went out and made the right trades. They went all
Hmm.
in and they drafted well. Like Jordan Davis, Hassan Reddick, Brandon Graham, and Dominican Sue, Fletcher Cox.
Yeah, made some they made
That is
amazing signings. They
that
made
is
amazing plays.
insane. Dude,
Yeah.
that's just their D line too.
Yeah.
Like,
When you have four
God,
people on that D line putting
that's
up 10
crazy.
plus sacks in a year,
And Reddick
70
had
sacks.
16.
Yeah. No,
Like,
it's absolutely
fuck.
insane.
That's
It's
crazy.
it's just what are you gonna do? You can't do anything.
Yeah.
So good luck. Fucking
Congratulations to the Eagles.
absolutely. So
Fuck.
with that being said, the Eagles now will host this next team. Um the Chiefs versus the Bengals. Wow, if we're just looking at this game as a game, it was a game that was played. No,
Hot take.
this was the dogfight I was kind of expecting. I did expect it to go a little bit more high scoring, but it really cooled down in the second half.
Hmm.
Um, like I predicted as well. But it on no, it was
Is
pretty
this is
cool.
this what this podcast is? Is you're just pumping your own tires?
I'm pretty much, no, it
People
was,
are gonna grow to hate you, man.
hey, that's fine. That means we'll get clicks. No, it 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 was pretty monotone the whole way. A lot of miscues from Joe Burrow, a lot of miscues from Patrick Mahomes. But when they started finally clicking on drives, man, did they both look dominant as fuck? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they did. And it proves to you that maybe this is the like marquee matchup, maybe not Mahomes and Allen, but maybe when Mahomes loses a year or Burrow loses a year, Allen will come in because unless Allen can clean it up, the rankings right now for top quarterbacks are Mahomes, Burrow, Allen. And I feel like that's going to be something that I need implemented into my head because I know how good Allen is, but Joe Burrow is playing like he's won two Super Bowls already.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And this matchup, the Bengals versus the Chiefs, are going to be the next Brady and Manning.
It's a newfound rivalry, man, and like I'm getting my popcorn ready. I'm so excited for it. Like Joe Burrow is becoming he's everyone's favorite. He's getting girls into football because everyone is figuring him out.
Yep,
And he's just the coolest bastard on earth. Um, he's probably
absolutely.
how many girls do you think is like Joe Burrow's my hall pass? Probably an infinite amount.
Dude, he
Um,
just has so much swagger to him
yeah,
as well.
he's got the world by the balls right now, and it's just so unfair for someone to have the full package, and that's Joe Burrow. But I like
Second
he
greatest number nine to play football.
Tony Romo first. Yeah, I can agree with that.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Growing up is realizing that Kirk Cousins has better stats than Tony Romo.
oh yeah.
Sorry.
Can't predict a play like Tony though. Can't
Oh
predict
my
a play like
God,
that.
dude. Holy fuck.
Yeah,
Tony Romo is becoming really cringe.
he was also sucking off Patty Mahomes that entire game.
I saw
But
one where it was like if Mahomes took a shit on the field, Romo would be like, no one poops like Mahomes.
that's facts, man. That's facts. No one else could do this on a sprained ankle.
You see why they call Josh Allen an alien, Jim?
Yeah. But no, Joe Burrow, like I mentioned that like he's very safe with the ball, doesn't make a lot of mistakes, but man, there's a questionable throws like that first interception he threw. Like
Hmm.
I don't know if he just didn't see Ward there, whatever, but um, like it just was not the right play. I think it was a just his brain wasn't clicking there. It was a terrible interception, just lobbed it up right to him. I don't even know what he was trying to do there. But he also made that clutch 3rd and 16 conversion late in the fourth to Hayden Hurst there for the first down. Like that was massive. And over
Which
a
they inevitably
bullshit,
punted.
bullshit intentional grounding, in my opinion. Um,
No, I think that was the right call. It didn't make the line of scrimmage. There wasn't anyone in the area, and he wasn't out
dude,
of the he wasn't out of the tackle box.
there's a halfback right on the other side of the line of scrimmage.
Okay, well then he wasn't out of the tackle box, didn't make the line of scrimmage. It was the right call, but it did take a fucking long time to get that in. I even said it right then and there. Like I was like, that's intentional grounding, and then nothing happened.
Oh no,
And then they did throw a flag, and I was like, okay.
I've seen shit like that happen all the time, and that's never called intentional grounding. So I'm like, why now?
I mean, there was
Like,
also a lot more sus calls in this
yeah,
game. But continue.
yeah, but like, it doesn't really matter if a receiver's in the area and it doesn't make the line of scrimmage because
By rule.
yeah, but like I see it all the fucking time, so I think it's ridiculous the
But
inconsistencies.
that's just the thing, right? Every fucking ref is inconsistent with their calls. And ugh, I'm so pissed because I've seen this in the biggest games of like the biggest times. And it's just, it ruins a game as a fan. It absolutely ruins a game and puts a bad taste in your mouth as an NFL fan when you see refs totally favoring a different team, whether it be by choice or whether it be by random stroke of luck that they don't call anything else. But when there's very, very key plays, and I know there's holding on every play, but it's like, what's the worst hold that you can have out of the 10? Holy fuck, did they miss every hold on that Mahomes run? Holy
There's like
shit.
4.
Yeah.
I
And
called it
two on
live
like the
too.
same player. Like, how do you not call a hold on the guy who had Hendrickson, or when Mahomes ran outside and the guy held Hubbard? How do you not call that? How do you not call the Joe Mixon should have been late hit out of bounds? How do
Yeah,
you not call the roughing the quarterback when Frank Clark fucking just after Joe Burrow had thrown it, a clear 2 seconds, Frank Clark runs in and pushes Burrow. Like, how are you not calling that? But then you'll call everything for Mahomes. You'll give Mahomes the fucking daddy treatment because they want a new dynasty in the NFL when it's like, come on, man. I know there has to be so many people in on it being rigged, but Jesus Christ, you could not tell me that NFL refs don't fix games just to get a narrative across. Because now, when you look at it, you got Andy Reid playing his old team, you got the Kelsey brothers, the first time that's ever happened. And then, what is Arizona's football field name? State Farm Field? Who the fuck is the biggest speaker of State Farm right now? What do you know? It's Patrick Mahomes. Like,
yeah.
there's the fact that these narratives all line up are what get me so riled up and so much thinking that the NFL's rigged and that they absolutely do this. But it's like it could all be coincidences. But when enough coincidences happen like this, it starts. Count me as the meme from The Incredibles. Coincidence? I think not.
No, there's definitely some like questionable shit. And look, the Bengals, there's a lot more that contributed to Casey's win than just the reffing. Cincinnati's O line was terrible that game, and they were
Absolutely,
giving bro no time to make rational decisions. And I think a lot of turnovers and punts were because of Burrow not having enough time to
I agree.
throw. I think that Jamar Chase fourth down conversion was ballsy as hell, but so clutch. Like, who am I gonna throw it to in double coverage on fourth down? My boy Jamar Chase from the U. Like, so massive, such a huge grab, but like on that final two drives, they need to get up the field quick, and are you aren't doubling Chris Jones?
Yeah.
What's your Are you dumb?
Yeah. No, and I was texting Donnie too at the same time, and you and Duncan, and same three conversations when Chris Jones gets in there and wreaks havoc on Burrow on third down. How are you not doubling him? I know your backups, but Joe, how are you not saying let's switch protection? I don't care if Jones does a stunt and somebody else comes inside. I do not want Chris Jones fucking my ass, okay?
Literally just come in with an extra tight end. I don't care how good he is at blocking. Try and slow him down.
Anything.
Like, if you could buy Burrow an extra half a second, that is massive. It was shown in the Super Bowl. If he had half a second more, Jamar Chase was wide open past Ramsey and it would have been a touchdown. It's proven that an extra half second is massive. And if you can just disrupt Jones for half a second to a second, this game
so
could be completely different. But your fucking O-line couldn't buy him any time.
No.
He got sacked, I swear, like 200 times that game. It was absurd.
Yeah.
He wasn't given any chance to move down the field. And if he was, then he was scrambling to make a throw and luckily converting on him.
Yeah.
Like, it was ridiculous. Like, after that Hayden Hurst conversion, I was like, that's what they needed. That was massive.
And I thought that's what it was going to be as well.
Yeah, but then the next three plays, sack, sack, sack. Like,
yeah.
Holy shit, guys, figure it out.
Yeah, no. And then obviously they punt. Huge return from Sky Moore.
Two blocking the backs
block
on that
in the back.
Two blocking the backs on that fucking play.
Yeah, absolute bullshit.
Jesus Christ, man. I've seen like those were two like blatant blocking the backs on that one run back. I've seen some way less like back shoulder blocks, like shoulder blocks in the shoulder, like back here,
just shoving him out of the way almost.
Like blocks in the shoulder where it's not a block in the back, and like those were called, whereas those were literally right in the numbers.
Yeah.
Absurd,
no, obviously.
Man. Absurd.
And then on the Mahomes run, obviously, I mean, you'd say you got a feel for a guy doing or literally pushing someone out of bounds. But man, this is the biggest moment in your life. How in your head are you like, he's out of bounds, let me push him? I don't care if your legs got tangled up. It looked like you pushed him. It looked like you had intent to even be near him. That you got to realize your field awareness as well. And it's tough that he goes down and literally hyperextends his fucking knee. Ozai, I think his last name is, or something like that. Jeremiah Ozai. But it's like, man, come on. If you don't do that, maybe they marry Bucker with how shaky he's been. And like that 45-yarder barely went in. Another 15 yards on that, Bucker's not making shit.
Like Mahomes has to make another play before Bucker has to kick, and they had 8 seconds left.
Exactly. And even with that, no timeouts. Like, who knows how it's going to play? I don't know. But in that situation, you're like, well, I'm doubling Kelsey. I'm doubling Juju, because MVS and whoever were not there. And it's like, just don't be fucking stupid. And another stupid play, like, gets fucking Kansas City past another round, which credit to Kansas City. They're playing good, but god damn are they getting help.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but that was the rant. Obviously, Philadelphia is playing Kansas City. And by God, I want Kansas City to win because holy fuck, Eagles fans are so annoying. It's not even funny.
My mom's like, I don't think I'll be watching the Super Bowl because I don't like either team. I'm
Yeah,
like,
like
I'm like, that's fair.
it's going to be a great Super Bowl. Like I cannot wait to watch it. I just like I said, I just hope Kansas City wins.
Yeah.
Mahomes definitely deserves to have two by now, in my opinion. And I just don't want to see the Eagles win.
Um, it would also one thing with the Eagles though, like it'd be cool to see um Jalen Hurts after all like the shit he's been getting and narratives about his game. If he can kind of shut up the people by like having a Super Bowl ring, because I
Hmm.
like Jalen Hurts as a player, and I think if he can play good and like win a Super Bowl, I think it'd be cool to kind of see him like silence the haters and stuff. I think that would be
Yeah.
really cool. Um, and I mean, Jason Kelsey is so funny. He's one of my favorite players in the league recently. Did you see that touchdown celebration with Miles Sanders when he was trying to do like that was hilarious.
Yeah, no, that
But
was pretty good.
but I honestly don't know what dog I have in this fight, but that preview will be coming next week on Wednesday evening, not Wednesday morning because we're recording that podcast Wednesday afternoon. But um no, I'm excited for the Super Bowl. It's gonna be good. Eagles are 2.5 points, 2.5 point favorites, as I think is fair. Um, it'll probably get closer to a pick 'em because it'll probably be like that Bengals situation, like, oh, Bengals are underdogs, and I think they're gonna win anyway. I'll take the points. Where people are like, oh, KC with points?
Yeah,
Yeah,
let me hammer that.
yeah, I'll take it.
And that was what it was against Cincinnati this week, KC with points.
Yeah,
So
exactly. So no, I'm looking forward to it. It should be good. Should be
we
good.
love that. Oh, man, oh man.
Man, oh man. All right. Are we doing a game of the week, Hayden?
Oh yeah. We have a game. I'm like,
I
game
was
of the
like,
week. It's
uh,
one fucking game.
no, I was like, you did prep something, right? I thought you were.
Yeah. Of course, of course,
Okay.
of course.
All
It's
right.
it's very timely and very considerable. Obviously with the Super Bowl. Um, it's gonna be easy. We're gonna see exactly who, if we do a graphic for it. Um, we're gonna see what squad people would take better,
All right.
because it's basically you and I choose between the two final teams of who we would put on our team. You know what I mean? So like if you pick first, you'll go like whatever position, like
Oh, so
quarterback.
we're drafting between the two teams.
Exactly.
Okay, I
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha,
Very,
gotcha,
very
gotcha.
simple. What
Fair
can I say?
enough. Offense and picking a defense kind of thing, or
Yeah,
just an offense.
we're gonna do defense as well, but we're gonna do defense as positional group. So like
Okay, so
safeties, corners, linebackers, defensive line.
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. And
Uh,
I'll write it down.
you got them all?
Yeah, I'll write it down.
Okay.
Let me just get the Google Spaces open.
All right. And how many positions and stuff like that of each?
Um, we'll go one running back, two wide receivers, a tight end, offensive line, uh, one safety or safety group, corner, linebacker, defense, quarterback.
Okay.
You know what? Just throw it in there. Special teams.
All right.
It could come down to it.
Sounds good. All right.
Do you
Who
want to flip
is
a coin?
starting? Sure. What's your pick?
We'll go wide receiver group. How about that? That's a good one. Oh.
Heads or tails?
Tails.
Hey Siri, heads or tails?
It's heads.
Fuck, it failed me.
All right, so I'll take the first pick.
Yeah,
And so it's just wide receiver group, not wide receiver specifically.
Yeah, wide receiver group.
Okay. And then just one running back, not running back group, or is it just
I guess
groups
if
that
we're
we're
doing
drafting?
that, might as well do group then.
Well, I think we should either do groups or individuals on offense, one or the other. And then on defense, I think it's good to stick with groups.
Okay, then you know what? Yeah, we'll go 2 wide receivers, and then 2 running backs.
And are we picking group or individual?
Individual.
Okay, for offense, and then defense
Yeah.
is just groups.
Yeah.
Okay. First pick off the board, I'm going Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, that was so obvious.
Chalk.
Very, very, very chalk. But you know what? You got to respect it because he is the best quarterback in the game. And
Yeah.
I don't think, like, no matter how many times you're like, oh, like they could be better.
Yeah.
No, not at all. All right. Well, I know who my quarterback's going to be. So I'm going to try and get another best at their position. And we'll go you, me, you, me, you, me, you,
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go with the. Fuck. This is actually like.
I'm
gonna go Travis Kelce.
okay.
I think Travis Kelce versus Dallas Goedert is like 3 tiers above.
Fuck. I'm in a pickle right now. I know which way I want to lean.
Yep.
I'm between two right now.
That's how I felt, man.
Fuck. Okay, do you know what? I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna give Mahomes a weapon. I'm gonna give him AJ Brown.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna go AJ fucking Brown. That's who my next pick was. If I couldn't get
Yeah.
or if you chose somebody else. Okay. So then I guess with me, again, since I still know who my quarterback is, so I'm gonna take quarterback last because I feel like that's the key here.
That's fair.
I feel like man, oh man. Okay. The game is won in the trenches. And I like both running backs and backup running back. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Eagles D line.
Bastard.
Yeah.
It was between AJ Brown and the defensive line.
Let's
me.
go. Let's fucking go.
So I'm gonna go Eagles offensive line
Okay.
to protect Eagles defensive line.
Okay, that's a good one. That's a good one. Okay.
Because for me, like I was either picking either Eagles line or AJ Brown. And I was like, do I want protection? Do I want to attack your quarterback, or do I want to give Mahomes a weapon?
Yep.
So
It's between those.
I got 2 out of the 3, so I can't complain. It's just like I probably the best of the bunch is the Eagles D line. 70 sacks is no joke, but
nope, not at all.
I got to compete with if you just pick them, I can't let you have the better offensive line as well. So
there you go. Okay.
Yeah.
Well then for me, running back is basically where I need to go. And I hope it's not just a rookie thing, but seeing Tyreek Hill as a running back, just makes me like Isaiah Pacheco.
Dude, he runs like he's like stomping his feet. Like he
Right?
runs so angry.
Oh no, it's awesome to see. So I love Isaiah Pacheco behind his own offensive line.
And how many running backs do we get?
2.
2? Okay. I'm gonna go Miles Sanders. I'm not gonna let you get 2 starting.
Yeah, that's That's a
I'm
good
not
decision.
I'm not gonna let you get the two starting running backs.
That's fair. So I feel like I need a receiver. Um, I like Devonta Smith and AJ Brown. Obviously, you have AJ Brown, and I mean Juju's been good, but is that just like a product? I'm gonna go with Devonta Smith.
Yeah, that's respect.
He's a great possession 50-50 guy.
Yeah, that's respect. Um, what's my second receiver gonna be? Because it's either second
Juju or MVS.
so or like defense, is it secondary safeties linebackers? Or
It's
is it
safeties, linebackers, corners,
safeties, linebackers, corners?
or the linebackers, safeties, corners, whatever you want.
Okay. Um, hmm. And it's these players when healthy, right?
Yeah.
So it's not just like who's available right now.
Nope.
Okay. Um, who's catching balls for KC right now? Juju,
Juju, MVS,
yes,
Sky Moore,
Sky Moore. What's that other random fool that was
McCole Hardman,
McCole Hardman? That's who it was,
Kadarius Toney.
and Watson.
Yeah, and Justin Watson. Yeah.
I'm gonna go Juju.
Okay. Yeah. That's a good wide receiver room.
Yeah, I
Uh,
think he's good behind a solid. I think he's good behind a consensus number one. I don't think he's a good one. So
yeah,
I think he'll excel behind AJ Brown.
that's fair. Well, with you doing that, then I need to go easily the best 1-2 punch corners in the league. Give me Darius Slay
Yeah.
and James Bradbury.
Yeah. No, that's respect. See, this is where I might fail on defense.
You got the offense.
Yeah. I already have
You have one running back, one tight end, a D line, linebackers, safeties, and corners.
yeah, and I technically already have Casey's D line.
Yeah,
Or no,
you have
Casey's D
Dallas
line and
Goddard.
corners.
Yeah, you have Dallas Goddard,
So a lot of picks already
Casey's
made
D
for me.
line, and Casey's corners. Yeah.
So
It's safeties and linebackers for you, basically.
yeah. Can I look something up?
Yeah. Look something up. Look something up.
Okay.
I'll just punch in the this stuff for you that you already have and that I already basically have. That way, we're not really sticking around too long.
Yeah. Okay. So I think I'm gonna go with actually fuck.
It's a tough decision.
Yeah. Just searching something up right now.
Okay.
I am gonna go Eagles linebackers.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, their front seven is nasty.
As soon as I saw Hassan Reddick was
Label as a
line-
linebacker.
a linebacker, I'm like, take that.
Yeah. I mean, Brandon Graham's also labeled as a linebacker, but they're like front seven.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Well, I mean,
whatever way.
on ESPN, he's listed as a defensive end. So,
Ah, I see.
and yeah, and Hassan Reddick is a linebacker.
As a linebacker? Okay. Well, there you go. That's a good one.
Yeah.
So then that basically leaves me with Kansas City's linebackers. So then, oh, do I want to? I feel like I have to. Um, I gotta take the Eagles safeties as well,
Yeah.
which will inevitably give you Kansas City safeties.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's no reason, or there is a reason why Gardner Johnson has 6 interceptions because their secondary is nasty as fuck.
Yeah. Um, I am gonna go Kansas City special teams
Okay.
with Pacheco as a kick returner. Butker has been a solid kicker up until this year. He's been kind of hurt and shaky. Townsend's a good punter. Um, Kadarius Toney's a good returner as well
Yeah, I'll
when
give you
healthy.
Kadarius Toney. I won't give you
Well, I mean, it's just like
but
the Chiefs special teams in general. So I'm looking at their Chiefs
I know
special
I'm
teams.
just fucking with you.
But yeah, I think I like their bunch
All right.
better.
Well, with that, then you have Mahomes, Sanders.
Rosters aren't finished yet
No, I know, but
so far.
they pretty much are because of just filling positions of opposites. You have Mahomes, Sanders, AJ Brown, Juju, Dallas Goddard, Eagles O line, Kansas City D line, Eagles linebackers, Kansas City safeties, Kansas City corners, and Kansas City special teams. Um, I have Hertz, Pacheco, Smith, Kelsey, Kansas City O line, Eagles, D line, safeties D line, or safeties Eagles, Kansas City linebackers, and then Eagles corners and special teams for the Eagles. So my second running back, I'm feel like you can't go wrong with either Boston Scott or Kenneth Gainwell. Uh because they're both so good. But I don't know, Kenny G played pretty fucking good as soon as Sanders went out. So I'm gonna take Gainwell,
Let's go.
which leaves you
I'm going Jerick McKinnon.
oh Jerick McKinnon. Okay.
Better than both of them. The way he's been receiving back and stuff like that, and he's been running really well this year with Mahomes.
No, you're absolutely right.
Gotta take that chemistry, you know?
All right. Well, then with that, that leaves me with my last wide receiver. And uh man, slim pickings here. This is where you're not watching this game for wide receiver talent here.
Yeah,
Kelsey.
Since you have Pacheco,
Okay.
and I can't get him for special teams, and I have Kadarius Toney on special teams, you can't take it
I
for wide
can't.
receiver.
Yeah,
No,
no,
no, I'm
I
playing.
can't do that. No. No,
I'm,
I agree though. I agree. I can't do that.
I'm dying. Holy shit.
Fucking hell. He
That was
actually
a
is dying.
that was a rough 10 seconds for the listeners there. Give me
Absolutely.
the
That was a
swear.
lot of loud noises.
Yeah. Andy.
Um, fuck, man. Like
Yeah,
wide receiver.
you're scraping the bottom of the barrel on this one, bud.
Dude, yeah, I am. You know what? We'll go MVS.
Yeah.
MVS. He's like the downfield deep threat guy.
Yeah.
And with that, that rounds out the two Super Bowl teams. Honestly, like these teams, you have the high flying offense
I
and
love my offense. I love my offense so
like
much.
clutch special teams. I have like ground and pound, uh, like I have a good mix of everything. You have offense is just amazing.
Your
Like no
defense
one's
definitely
touching you.
takes. Yeah.
Like no, but like the only way I'm touching you is coverage sacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that it's really good team. Either way.
Yeah, no, 100%. That just shows how talented this team is. I think game changer though is like me getting the Eagles linebackers with like Hassan Reddick
With Reddick, yeah.
there. I think that like because that really
That
helps
could
the
really fuck
Eagles.
up my O line.
So, but like, I mean, your team is still like Hurts is good with.
Yeah, he's gonna need a spy on him at all times.
Yeah, like
So is
yeah,
Mahomes. Yeah.
so that's solid.
Yeah, no, I like this. Yeah, honestly, like the only good running back, it's kind of crazy, is Miles Sanders, and the only good receiver is like
AJ
AJ
Brown.
Brown. Yeah, like I know McKinnon, yeah, he's great. Pacheco, great, but like
And you
not
got and
not
you got your pick of the litter with running back too. I got Sanders
yeah
second.
yeah no that is fair. But you know what? Having Kelsey, that's game changing.
He can do whatever he wants.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, Hayden, we'll wrap this up right now. Folks, thank you so much for listening to episode 146. It was a pleasure chatting with you. Hayden, where can the people find you on social media if they want to search you up and stalk you?
On Instagram and Twitter at Hayden_Barton and on TikTok at HBart13.
That is amazing. You can follow me on Instagram at Jevon.Lefave, on Twitter at JevonLefave, and find everything for the show on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at LeftSideHeavy_. Head to the YouTube Left Side Heavy so you can watch the show. Much appreciated. And we will see you next Wednesday night. Me, Hayden, Brett, and Scott will bring you the Super Bowl preview and minor notes on the NHL, but it'll be mainly a Super Bowl show. Maybe we'll do a little draft of halftime shows kind of thing. We'll rank halftime shows in the past. That might be a good one, but we'll
That's a good
see.
idea.
Yeah, so we're recording that episode on Wednesday when this usually comes out. So the podcast will either come out Wednesday evening or Thursday morning. So stay tuned. I'll post on Instagram when the episode is released. But yeah, looking forward to talking to you guys next week. I hope you enjoyed this past kickback and relax. It was a lot of fun with Owen, but we will see you guys next time. Peace.